hello on this Friday, July 3rd, 2015. Time for a special community profile program. It's the Elder Law Report. Greg McIntyre is here. Good morning to you, Greg. And
morning, Bill.
You have a guest with you as well today.
I do. I have Hayden Soloway, who works with our office doing various things, who knows everybody, I think. Hayden's come with us today just to interact, and she has some questions for me, I think. And, this is really, Milton, this is Elder Talk Radio. Okay, for the next 30 minutes, we really want to put out some great information to the community, stir some response. We want to answer questions, and we'd love for people to call in. Milton, if people need to call in and ask us some questions, where can they call in?
All right, yes, our regular phone lines are 704-482-1390, 704-735-8071, or 704-435-2844. Regular phone lines that we use for swap shop and contests and etc. You can call to talk to Greg here today.
Call with your questions and we'll try to fill those questions, okay? And anyone who calls in, also with the code word radio, Milton, we're going to give them a free consultation in our office. We'll talk to them about how to protect their assets and legacies. I'm Greg McIntyre, folks, with McIntyre Elder Law, helping seniors protect their assets and legacies. And we're talking about Independence Day today. Milton, what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, okay, let me get my microphone on. Tomorrow, the 4th of July.
Independence Day, right?
Yes.
Right? And Hayden, how many years, what birthday is it of this country? How many years have we been independent? 239. 239 years, that's correct. So that seems like a long time, right? I mean, comparatively,
as long as any other democracies lasted, I think.
You think so? I mean, comparatively, though, there's a lot of older countries out there, right? So we're not seniors yet as countries. We're still babies, right? We're trying to get it right.
Okay, I'm on the arrow program.
So what do we do on Independence Day? We hang flags, eat hot dogs and hamburgers,
check back with
fireworks.
Okay.
Shoot off fireworks. Are you wearing red, white, and blue tomorrow?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I've got my flag on today. I'm a veteran, so I wear my flag every day. Okay. Did you know that a lot of the flags and fireworks that we shoot off in this country are actually imported from China? Did you know that?
No.
All right. So in 2013, Milton, we spent $204 million in fireworks that are imported from China.
Mm-hmm.
To celebrate that. Yeah, to celebrate America. We spent $3.5 million in those little U.S. flags imported from China. Mm-hmm. That's not a good thing, is it? We need to be making that stuff here. What do you think, Amy?
I agree. Because I've invested a lot of money in China and flags.
We spent a lot of money over there for American flags. So they're profiting from democracy as well, I guess, though, right? From our independence.
Okay.
All right, so Nathan's Hot Dogs has a hot dog eating contest every year on July 4th, okay? It's a 10-minute hot dog eating contest. How many hot dogs can you eat in 10 minutes?
I'd be full after about 3.
3 hot dogs? Guess how many is the record holder for their contest? How many hot dogs in 10 minutes?
I'll say 7.
All right, that's a pretty good guess. What do you think, Hayden?
I don't think it's that much.
You don't think it's that much? It's 69.
No.
That's amazing. We did not, for the listeners out there, we did not tell Milton that ahead of time. Milton, you couldn't eat 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
Not in 10 days.
I think we need to go to enter the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest.
Yeah.
Okay. What does independence mean to you, though, as a senior? Hayden, what does independence mean to you as a senior?
Well, financial security, personal security, security for my children and grandchildren. Those are the things that are most important to me. And not in that order. They all link together. It's wanting what I have had for my grandchildren in those ways I can get it.
Okay. So financial security for yourself.
Well, I want it so that I can give some to them.
So you want to be able to give something to them as well.
Yes.
All right.
I'm very conscious of that.
And I've found, this is my personal belief as well, not only a senior, we want to stay in control of our assets. I say that the kids are a lot nicer to Mama if she still is in control of the house and everything else, okay? And that's kind of our goal when we do planning, is to keep the senior totally in control of their assets while also protecting those assets against any possible things that could hamper their independence there, that can hamper their control of their assets, such as healthcare situations. Do you know how many, speaking of Independence Day in governments, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in 2005 came out with a report on seniors and long-term care. Long-term care being assisted living care, nursing home care, even in-home care. If we had 10 people in the room right now, how many of those would need care during their life if they're over 65 in 2005?
Well, I know that answer because this is something we deal with on a day-to-day basis, but...
Milton, how many people do you think?
Okay, so 10 people over 65 in the room right now. How many would need long-term health care? Is that what you said? Long-term?
Correct.
I'd say of those 10, 8.
Okay, that's a good guess. It's actually 7. Milton's a very good guesser today. So 7 out of 10 people, there's a 70% chance that you'll need some type of long-term care if you're over 65, according to that report. And those are big odds. So you need to plan for those. So when we sit down with a senior and we do planning, we talk about, all right, knowing that's an issue, how do we prevent that cost from taking your house, from preventing you from giving your house to your children, to your grandchildren, and talking about the system we have right now set up. Why did we go independent as a country? Hey, what do you think?
Well, the taxation without representation was the motto, but it was wanting government the way we wanted. We wanted to control ourselves. We wanted to be self-governing.
Okay, so we wanted to be in control, right? You pay for a house for how many years during your life?
20, 30, maybe more.
20, 30, 40, 50, 60, depending on if you own multiple houses. You could have equity lines. And do you pay the bank exactly what that house is worth, or do you pay them interest?
Sometimes triple.
You pay them 2 to 3 times what it's worth, right? And then you pay taxes all along, correct? So you're taxed. And we have representation, right? Right, I guess?
Well, we're competing with the lobbyists and the special interests.
Okay, yeah,
So,
somewhat.
yes.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Caller.
We do have a caller on line 1. Good morning. Hi there.
That's a very good question. Okay, we sue everybody now. It seems like. Okay, so you said it's not on a right of way, or is it on their property? There's a good question. Is it on the other person's property? I think that sounds like a safety hazard or concern that needs to be addressed with that neighbor, don't you? Before there's an accident or a liability or somebody getting sued. What do you think? Those are issues. I consider that even a smaller issue. I mean, it could be a great health concern, but that's what we'd sit down and talk about. Let's sit down and talk about it. See if we need to write that neighbor a stern letter to motivate them to move prior to actually taking them to court or making them do what they need to do so that your property is safe, and so is theirs. Those are certainly safety concerns that the community, your representatives, and the attorneys in the area, I think, are concerned about. So, call an attorney who deals with that. Could be a property law attorney, could be an elder law attorney. I'm the elder law guy, Greg McIntyre. You can feel free to call our office, 704-259-7040. Use the code word radio. I'll sit down and talk to you about it for free, okay? And give you a free consultation. 704-259-7040. Do you know where we're located uptown? It's as easy as 123 West Marion Street. Okay, 123 West Marion.
Right across from the Farmers market.
Right across from the new Farmers Market Canopy Building. We can't call it the Farmers Market. I think it's the Community Center or something like Events Center.
We'll get the name right.
All right, but it is mainly the Farmers Market.
And Patsy, that's Shelby, Patsy. That's in Shelby. Okay.
Yeah, but all right. Hey, do I just have clients in Shelby?
No.
I have clients all over.
No.
Last Friday morning, I was in Burke County meeting with someone in their home. So I'm an attorney in North Carolina. So I can travel all over. And I how many do you have any children, Patsy? One at home. Okay, good deal. I got 6 at home right now. So Daddy's got to work. Okay, so I don't mind making time for it. Oh,
By one wife.
By one baby mama. That's correct. By one wife. Yes, by one wife. Oddly enough. And but yeah. Well, thank you. They are a blessing. They're a blessing. So, but anyway, thank you for calling in, Patsy. I hope I've given you some direction, and I'll be glad to meet with you and talk with you personally later. Okay? All right.
All right, and Greg, if you want to take another call right now, if you had something else you want to cover, we do have somebody standing by.
I'd be glad to take another
We're
call.
going to take another caller here. Okay. Caller, you are on the air. Country, you want some shoppers? Did you want to talk to Greg?
That is an extremely good question. Number one, what's your name? What's your first name? Linda. Linda, it's Greg McIntyre. Good, the elder law guy. Good to talk to you. Okay. So yeah, do they have to cash in life insurance? Well, number one, when I sit down with someone, I'm going to look at all those concerns. Okay. If someone's in a nursing home, all right. Many times people get in nursing homes. It could cost anywhere between $40,000 to $80,000, $78,000 is the national average. So it better be a big life insurance policy. If you're talking, what's that?
Per year.
Per year. That's per year. Yes, per year cost. Wow, that's 90. You're testing my math skills. $96,000 a year, correct? And probably pay other incidental costs like there are other costs that you pay out also just to provide for that senior, correct? Yeah, so you're talking about probably over $100,000 a year. That can spin down even a very large savings and retirement estate very quickly. To your point, on the life insurance policy, number one, I'd want to ask, is it a term life policy or is it a whole life policy? You need to check that, okay? Term life policies are for a specific term of years. For instance, I'm in my situation with 6 kids and a wife, I'm able to get term life much cheaper than I can get whole life for a term of, say, 20 years. And if you're a Dave Ramsey follower or something like that, he's going to always push you toward term life insurance instead of whole life. Whole life is an investment. You're going to accumulate part of that monthly payment so you can come back and withdraw money, or it has cash value. What you do is you look on that statement. It's going to tell you the current cash value for that statement, okay? Or for that policy, all right? So it is a countable asset, okay? And you can cash it in to pay for nursing home care, all right? Another thing that I would be looking at, and you don't have to tell me over the phone, but just so that I plant these seeds with you, is you need to look at what is the overall strategy for paying for that care for that, for how many years, okay? And how much is that going to cost you, all right? And is the life insurance part of the strategy? Are there 401ks, retirement, pensions? Is that person a veteran? Was that person's spouse a veteran? Because that could equal up to $27.50 per month. Were they both veterans via an attendance that could help out with those payments? Okay, or is it a situation where we're looking at a Medicaid spin down the road to come in, or even now to pay for long-term care? And how much can we save that mom or dad paid for their entire life to save? Is there a healthy spouse? Is there some, is that spouse of that person still alive and healthy? Can we move assets there under the law and under the rules to save those assets? What I did is went through a really quick evaluation and troubleshooting matrix of logically how I sit down with a client and look at an emergency or crisis situation like that, okay? Again, you call my office, codename radio. Be glad to meet with you. 704-259-7040, and we can talk about that a little more in depth and get into the specifics of that situation, okay? 7040.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much. You have a great day.
All right, great. Let's see. We have another caller.
Sure.
We're going to take that another caller here. And good morning. You're on the air. Oh, we're good. We're good.
I'm doing wonderfully. Who am I speaking with this morning? Sure.
Big country, you want to today? Oh, okay.
Right. That's why you're calling today, so you can find out what you don't know. So you don't know what you don't know, right? So let's talk about that. Uh-huh. Sure. Mm-hmm. Right. Wow, that's such a great question. And what was your first name? Sorry about that. Tim. Tim. All right, Tim. That's such a great question. Okay. So yes, I'm gonna always, I've sat down with several people recently, and they had to do no probate work. They didn't have to open anything up for liens at the courthouse and probate the will because we already had it set up correctly ahead of time. It sounds like that's something like the situation that you're in. Okay. But certainly joint ownership with rights to survivorship on the bank accounts. You have to do that with someone you trust very, very deeply. But that would avoid having that money have to go through probate. It would just automatically be the other person's. Is it subject to a governmental lien? I'd have to know more. Is the home protected by using certain protective deeds like ladybird deeds? Is there rental property? Is that property protected under the law using certain tools like tenants in common deeds? And there's other strategies to use there in property protection under the law so that the government can't come in and place a lien on your property and take it away should you pass away or should your spouse pass away. Okay? As you know, according to the last caller, she's spending upwards of $100,000 per month in cost. I mean, that can spend down the estate, so there's nothing left in the bank account, at all. But under the current Medicaid rules, how about this for long-term care Medicaid? Okay, if there's no long-term care insurance policy, which I would recommend if you can afford it, and there's other hybrid products. Talk to somebody who's very knowledgeable on those products. But $119,220 this year can be kept for a healthy spouse. Not a lot. We can help save more. But for a single person, do you know the limit you have to spend down to if you're in a long-term care Medicaid situation? $2,000. And then if once you spend down, are they going to place a lien on real estate or try to come back and collect that in probate? Medicaid? The government? What you're calling the government, I think? Yeah. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. I mean, how many people out there know someone themselves, that their parents or friends, have had their homes taken away because of that same situation. And that's what I'm saying isn't right on this Independence Day. We started the country for freedom from taxation, freedom from tyranny, and right now we're paying 3 to 4 times as much as it costs for a house to the bank, and then you pay your taxes on top of that. And then, in the end, everything you save for in retirement spent down at $100,000 plus per year on a nursing home or assisted living facility, and it's not your fault that you have that healthcare situation generally. And then the home's taken away that you paid so much for in the end, right? I mean, that's just that. I mean, that's our system, man. So that's right. Ladybird deed. Hey, Tim, do you have my number now? Do you have my phone number now? 704-259-7040. Hey, you want to read about Ladybird Deeds? Head to my website, mcelderlaw.com. You can watch videos on it. You can listen to a podcast or Elder Talk Radio that I do on there as well. Follow me on social media. Sign up for my newsletter on the website, and you'll get all the updates and changes in the law. Okay? And tune in every Friday morning at 10 o'clock, right? Thanks, Tim. Yes, sir.
All right, Greg. And another? We have another?
Well, it's up to you, man.
Okay.
You tell me how we are on time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at.
We got about 10 minutes.
Oh, cool.
And so
Absolutely, we'll take another call.
We got another caller then. Good morning, caller. Go right ahead.
Hey, this is Greg, the elder law guy, McIntyre, and wanted to ask your first name, sir. Oh, good to talk to you, sir. How can I help you? LD.
Yeah.
Cool.
The one and only.
The one and only. I got you. I mean, we're all going to get there. If I'm lucky, I'll get there, I mean, it's BC alternative, right? So how can I help you, sir? Right. Yeah, so you're currently drawing Social Security, correct? Yeah, I mean, there's a huge strategy there. I hate to ask any person their age, but how old are you right now? Well, congratulations. 73. I hope, like I said, I get there. That's a great debate right now, is whether to take Social Security at what, in that range from 62 on up, and when to take it and maximize it. If you can hold out, you get your maximum income. And sir, do you have any other health issues going on, or are you a veteran perhaps? Okay. And well, let me tell you this. You're drawing Social Security right now, okay? And that's great. And what we want to do, I hate to ask personal questions, but sometimes I have to know: is there a piece of property that you own or would like to protect? There you go. So let's talk about that. You're drawing Social Security. You own your own home. And I'm sure that you'd like to say what you want to do with that home if you pass. If you pass away 100 years from now, right? At least 30, that's right. But you'd like to keep that property protected and say what happens to it, wouldn't you? Yeah, so, if you haven't done protective planning, and used to, you had to beat a 5-year look-back period, okay? For Medicaid purposes, for long-term care nursing home Medicaid, all right, to do a life estate deed or some kind of property transfer deed, and especially to keep control of that property. A Ladybird deed is the perfect tool for what you need. Okay, Ladybird deed would allow you to stay in control, you and or your spouse, to stay in control of the property throughout your life. Okay, to the very end, 100 years from now, right? And then that automatically passes to your kids or to your church, whoever you need that property to go to benefit the community or your family once you pass away. And it beats that 5-year look-back period for nursing home Medicaid if you run into that situation that 7 out of 10 seniors are going to run into. Okay? Hey, Milton, I appreciate you listening, and I thank you so much for your call. Okay?
LD.
I'm sorry, LD. Did I say
I'm Milton.
LD. I'm sorry, LD. Milton was looking at me. Milton scared me over here for a second. No, I'm just kidding. LD, thank you for your call, man. Hey. All right. You have a good day.
Thank you, LD.
All right.
See you, buddy. All right, that's LD. He's a very loyal radio listener.
Well, good.
Yeah.
So just to put out a quick disclaimer, I'm a local attorney. I'm a North Carolina attorney, so I give only legal advice on North Carolina issues. and no attorney-client bond or relationship is formed by anything I'm doing today. We're just having some nice conversations. We'd have to sit down together. You'd have to decide to retain me for me to actually be your attorney. Okay?
Okay, we have another call.
Another caller?
Mhm.
You guys are killing me over here. I love the calls. Thank you.
Getting busy, yes. On line one.
Caller, what's your first name? Randy. Good to hear from you, Randy. How can I help you? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, you don't have to do probate. There's nothing that says you got to go probate a will. In fact, if you're going to set yourself up correctly, and I have articles that I've written, go to mcelderlaw.com and look at our blog on are wills obsolete? Okay, and that's the question. I mean, if you're passing things by will, you're opening them up. I mean, wills do what they're supposed to do, but you open them up for probate. When you open an estate down at the courthouse and you have to advertise it in the paper, and well, if it's over $30,000, 20 in some instances, 30 in others. If it's over that amount, then it can't be a small estate, and you have to wait 90 days and advertise it in the paper. If it's even a small estate, you have to wait 90 days. Okay? Why do you wait 90 days and advertise it? Do you think it's so that people can say, hey, this person passed away. We want to send them money. We're going to mail that to the courthouse or mail that to we're going to go take a bunch of money over there. You think that's the reason? I wish it was, hey man, if I pass away, please bring me a big bag of money. But but usually it's for liens. It's for somebody who wants a piece, who wants to get paid, so they can attach. What happens if you're passing your house through your will and a big lien gets attached, like a big healthcare lien or Medicaid lien? What happens to your house? It gets sold to pay that lien. It gets auctioned off or sold. If it doesn't move in a certain period of time, they'll auction the thing off for a fraction of the value to pay that lien, right? So you want to protect yourself. We need to sit down and talk. 704-259-7040. Code word radio. Be glad to talk to you for free on that issue, okay? Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. Yeah, I know personally somebody, in my hometown, Krause, where that's happening right now. There's an auction coming up for the person who passed away.
To pay what?
Medicaid
To
loan.
pay a Medicaid lien. That's right.
That's right.
Where long-term care Medicaid. Many people, too, they think, Medicaid is, food stamps or something like that. This is a totally separate system we're talking about, Bill. It's for seniors. It's long-term care Medicaid. Medicare will only pay for 20 days of care. Then your supplement would pick up for 80 days. Then you're looking at paying out of pocket, like our previous caller, at $100,000 a year or more, or having long-term care Medicaid come in and pay for assisted living or nursing home care.
Greg, I've heard too, man. We've got a couple of minutes.
We can
here.
talk for an hour.
No, we can go. Yeah. We can go over. It doesn't matter. I've heard people say, well, they gave everything to their child or something to keep the government or whatever from getting, or they sold it for $1 to their son or whatever. Is that legal? And is that help? Is that the thing?
Yeah,
in some cases.
That's traditionally what's been done. Either you use traditional life estate deeds, or you just general warranty deed or quitclaim deed. You just give it away.
Do you have to do it a certain period of time
That's right.
before you go?
That's exactly right. So if you gave it away, let's say you had a $100,000 house and you gave it to your son, but 2 years from now there's a long-term health care incident, and there's just no money to pay for that long-term care at the rate of $100,000 a year. Okay, like the previous caller. In that case, you'd have to go to long-term care Medicaid to pay for, say, nursing home care. But Medicaid's going to say under the rules, look, you gave that house away within the 5-year look-back period. You got to give it back so we can place a lien on it. Is one way, or give us the value for that back, or we're going to deny care for you or money to pay for your care for a certain period of time. And $100,000 probably going to be, maybe a year or more. All right. So that's an issue. That's a problem.
Big up country, we're going to talk to Greg. I'll have to call back.
decide to do elder law?
What made me decide to do elder law? I mean, I've always liked fight for the underdog. I've had a lot of courtroom experience, and I used to practice door law and everything that walks through the door, you know, because I was young, I had kids, and, you know, I had a grandfather that kind of went through this situation, you know, and it was in assisted living care for 15 years until he passed away at a very old age, by the way. And you know, I also had that situation I said earlier. I do not think the system is set up correctly. I think the underdog right now is the middle class person who's worked all their lives, the heart and soul of America, to pay for everything they've gotten, and then everything gets taken away at the end because the people with all that are setting up the nursing homes and the system and you know, the entire system. However, there's some great nursing homes out there. I'm good friends with those, and assisted living facilities, and we work with those. We're blessed with a lot of good ones. But I think the system's really set up though to take a lot of that back, and it costs a lot for healthcare. So how can I help that person under the law and under the rules save the hard-earned money and property they work for their entire lives? That's why I do it. I get kind of pumped up about it.
Greg, we have time for maybe one more caller here.
Okay, sure.
All right. Go ahead. You're on the air. Good, sir. Good.
Yeah, sure. You know. Yes, number one. Yes, it beats the five. That's a great question. Number one, it beats the 5-year look-back period, correct? For nursing home Medicaid, or 3-year look-back period for assisted living Medicaid. Those are two separate systems in North Carolina, okay? Number two, I'm going to look at the value of the home along with other things that we're saving, okay? And we're protecting, okay? To accumulate a total figure of what we're going to charge, okay? But if you come in my office and you're just wanting to do a ladybird deed, it's going to range somewhere probably between the $250 and $750 range, somewhere in that range, okay? It's going to be somewhere in that ballpark, all right? Just depending on what we're doing and how much we're saving. Let me ask you this. How much is your homeowner's insurance for a year? Okay, so you pay $550, not once, but every single year. Over 10 years, that's $5,500, correct? Okay? So you're paying, in over 20 years, that's over $10,000. Let me ask you this. That's a one-time fee, baby. That's correct. Mm-hmm. So if you pay over 30 years, that's over $15,000. That's about $16,500 you pay for homeowners insurance. If there's a long-term care situation for you or your wife, and Medicaid is going to put a lien on that, so you can't pass it, and because you didn't act in time, is that? Let me ask you this: is your homeowner's insurance going to save that house? The answer is no. That's correct. Yeah, that's no good, man. That only helps if the roof leaks or the house burns down or something, right? What I can do is better than any insurance policy you're ever going to get. I can tell you that I can protect your home right now under the law, and I can beat the 5-year look-back period. It's not a accountable asset transfer, okay? And I can do it for a fraction of the cost of your. Oh yeah. That's correct. It protects it under both systems. SA, which is called Special Assistance Medicaid, which is a 3-year look-back period for assisted living, or long-term care Medicaid or nursing home Medicaid, which is a 5-year or 60-month look-back period. Lady Bird deed is allowable to not count as an asset, okay? So we essentially, you know that, hey, if you're flying a stealth bomber and you're going into Iraq, can they see you? No, you're not on their radar, okay? So it's not on their radar under the law. That's a great question. Thank you for calling. Depends on what we're doing. You're welcome. Thanks.
All right. Well, Greg, I guess we're just about ran out of time here, a little over time, but that's no problem. But I'll let you go ahead. You folks go ahead and wrap it up for us.
Let me wrap it up for us. So we were talking about Independence Day. Hayden, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Milton, thank you so much for letting us do it.
Absolutely.
What are you doing for Independence Day, Milton?
Out of here.
You out of here? Where are you going?
Beach.
Beaching it?
Going to the beach.
I'm gonna hang out. You're working today, right?
I'm fixing to be off for the next 10 days.
I'm gonna tell you, in honor of hardworking Americans, we're working all day today. Okay? You know what I call weekends?
Well, no, I haven't.
Work days in disguise.
Okay.
But I got 6 kids and Daddy's got to work. Okay.
Gotta work.
So call anybody who listens. Call our office 704-259-7040, or call the radio station, code word radio, and they'll give you our number, and we'll give you a free consultation. Okay. Thank you for having us, Bill.
Can they go ahead and call right now?
Man, they can call right now.
Julia's there to answer the phone.
Julie is at the office to answer right now.
And Greg will be back next Friday.
And I'll be back next Friday, 10 a.m. for Elder Talk Radio. Okay?
Very good, folks. And we thank you for tuning in today. Happy 4th of July to everyone. See you next week.